Also, I'd just like to read just briefly from Pope Pius XII's last instruction to the Sacred Congregation of Rites. On September 3rd, 1958, it was just about a little more than a month before he died. It's regarding the sacred music and the sacred liturgy. This is about participation of the faithful in low masses. One must take diligent care that the faithful are present also at the low mass, not as outsiders or as silent spectators. And that's not some modernist thing. That's from the decree, Apostolic Constitution of December 20th, 1928, that the faithful, those that are attending Mass, are not outsiders or as silent spectators, but in such a way that they may exercise the participation which is demanded by such a great mystery and which yields such abundant fruits. In other words, how do we participate in Mass? So the Holy Father said the first way in which the faithful can participate in the low Mass is achieved when individuals exercise on their own initiative either interior participation, that is pious attention to the principal parts of the Mass, or external participation according to the various approved customs of the regions. They are especially worthy of praise who use a small missal or prayer book suitable to their understanding and pray along with the priest in the very words of the Church. So you're not required to use a missal, but he says it's especially worthy of praise. It's one of the best ways because then you unite with the priest. You're reading the same prayers that the priest is praying. Then he goes on, but since not all are equally capable of understanding properly the rites and formulas, and since spiritual needs are not the same and are not always the same for any individual, in other words, sometimes you may want to use the missal, sometimes you may want to pray the rosary or other prayers. There are more easy and suitable ways of participation for some, such as piously meditating upon the mysteries of Jesus Christ, or performing other pious exercises, or reciting other prayers, which, though they may differ in form from the sacred rites, are nevertheless in keeping with them by their nature. In other words, the Missal is highly recommended, but if you don't use the Missal, then you still participate the best you can, and it may be different. And then this is not some modernist thing either. This is Pope Pius XII's decree, Mediator Dei, 1947, which was against the modernist experimentation and abuses in the liturgy. But then he goes on to talk about another way of participating in the Mass. Finally, the third and most perfect manner of participation is had when the faithful give the liturgical responses to the celebrant, almost conversing with him and pronouncing the parts proper to them in a clear voice. So you don't have to do this, but the bishop gave permission to follow it because there's 4 different degrees. And then this is not some modernist thing either. When I went throughout many different churches in Mexico, I'd say Mass, Dominus Vobiscum, and the whole church said, Et cum spiritu tuo, and then the other responses. So the choir does that during a high Mass. So again, it's not some modernist thing, but it's beautiful to participate in the Mass, not saying all the prayers like the Confiteor, or during the elevation, we don't say out loud, my Lord and my God, but the simple responses that you can answer, and then you share in the graces in the Mass, just like the servers receive after the priest the most graces, and you share in a higher degree because you're participating. So here's what the Pope says. Of this more perfect participation, there are 4 degrees, and then we just do the first degree. In the first degree, the faithful give the easiest liturgical responses to the celebrant, which are Amen, et cum spiritu tuo, Deo gratias, of course, Kyrie eleison, Christe eleison, Gloria tibi Domine, laus tibi Christe, abemus ad Dominum, dignum et justum est, and sed libera nos a malo. So I just wanted to mention it because people had questions about this.